This is Senior Algebra, section 6.5. So today we are solving equations now, and we start with this idea here. We're going to do multiplying by 0 here. Now all these, right? 5 times 0, 0 times 3, 23,470 times 0, and 7 minus 7, which is 0, times 928 is 0. Hopefully we didn't need a calculator for that, but we know that anything times 0 is going to be 0. So 5 times 0, 10 times 0, whatever, times 0 is 0. So that brings us to the idea that if we have any two numbers, we say A and B, because A and B can be any number we want, times 0, or A and B equals 0, if I multiply them, I know that either A has to be 0, or B has to be 0. Now the nice thing is this, if A is 0, it doesn't matter what B is. And if B is 0, it doesn't matter what A is. It's called the zero factor property here. So here's where we use it. In A, I have two things multiplied to be 0. 5 times x minus 2 equals 0. Now, if I look at each of these, is there any way to make 5 equal to 0? No, not. So I don't get anything out of that. But if I look at this, is there any number that I could put in for x that'll make that part 0? Well, I solve it. Well, x minus 0 equals 0. So x equals 2. If I put in a 2, that would solve that equation. In B, I have two things multiplied to be 0. So either the first part has to be 0, or the second part has to be 0. So if I look and solve this, if I add 3 to each side, I get x equals 3. On the right side, I have x equals negative 1. So if I put in 3, if I put in negative 1, either of those would be considered solutions because they make it true here. So that brings us to example 3 here. Example 3, we have x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Now, we can't really get x alone. So what we do is we factor it. We get it to two things that are multiplied to be 0. Because I have the x squared and the x I know I can't factor here. I know it's a 1x squared here, so what multiplies to negative 6 and adds to 5x? Plus 6 and minus 1. So now I have two things that are multiplied to be 0. And notice here, I check it. Yeah, 6x and a negative 1x, that's my inside terms. That's 5x, that's what I wanted here. So I set each part equal to 0. X plus 6 equals 0, and x minus 1 equals 0. Here I get x equals negative 6. Here I get x equals 1. So then we move on to B here. In B, the first thing I look at is I see, well, there's a 20 on the other side. I can't have that over there. So what I have to do is I have to move the 20 over. So I'm going to write 2x squared plus 3x. And I'm going to subtract 20 on each side. So I minus 20, minus 20. Now I know I can't put those together, but 2x squared plus 3x minus 20 equals 0. So right now, how do I solve it? Well, I can't just get x alone because I have an x squared and a 3x. So I have to factor it. I'm going to do factor by grouping. So I multiply the first and the last one together. What multiplies to negative 40x squared adds to 3x. We know the positive is bigger. So I think it's going to be 8x and negative 5x. So I'm going to substitute the negative 5x plus 8x in for the 3x. I group my first two terms together. I pull out an x. I group my second two terms together. I pull out a 4. Notice, inside the parentheses, 2x minus 5 is the same in both of them. So I pull that out. In left I have x plus 4 equals 0. So now, the key, I have two things that are multiplied to be 0. So either 2x minus 5 equals 0, or x plus 4 equals 0. I solve each of them. For the right one, I get x equals negative 4. For the left one, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I'm going to divide by 2 and get x equals 5/2. Nice short lesson for us today here. Last thing I would like you to do, in the bottom right-hand corner, put your favorite food. Bottom right-hand corner, put your favorite food. All right, have a good weekend.